Well, as most ideas are with grit, he has the idea and then he sits and thinks for a while how he's going to achieve it. He talked to quite a number of people about his dissatisfaction with the way folk music is portrayed and what could he do to boost the image of folk music, and mainly boost the reputations and the fortunes of all the amazing people we know. So his idea was that if we highlighted the achievements of these people, and it wasn't necessarily the idea that it was a contest, it was more that we would celebrate all the people who are making great music. This could be a vehicle for doing that. And that's actually really how he started. So he talked to people for a number of years and gathered some like-minded people around him. And he and I had been talking about it for quite a number of years because we would see that people who were highlighted in the Junos were given that profile, but usually they weren't always the people who deserved the accolades. The people who are the quiet, wonderful singers, the traditional singers like an Ian Robb or an Enoch Kent would never be up there in the media being recognized, and yet they have done amazing work for so many years. So he really came at it from the point of view of how could he support people, and that's usually the basis for everything he does, including Borealis. Why did he want to start Borealis? Because he wanted to support people he really believed in, and how could he do that? Through starting a record company. And he wouldn't stop until he got enough people together from across the country who he felt he could work with and who were on the same wavelength as he was. And that he didn't really want the CFMAs to just be a contest or an award show. He wanted it to be much richer and broader. And that's what we've been trying to do. Well, I think what people see in Grit is, well, first of all, I do think he has a certain amount of charisma. I mean, because since I met him when he was probably 20 years old, he has attracted people to him. People always wanted to be around Grit. They wanted to hang around him. And I think it's because he's really enthusiastic and it's genuine, it's from the heart. So if he has an idea and he starts talking about it and he gets all excited about it, you get excited too and you want to join him. And it doesn't matter where we go. People are always gravitating towards him. I remember when we first met, we'd walk down the street and all these people would come and say, "Hi, Grit, how you doing? How's it going?" And of course he wouldn't know who most of them were because they'd seen him perform or they knew about him through his music or Fiddler's Green in those days. And often he doesn't have a really great facility with names, with retrieving names. That's like one of his only difficulties, but people always wanted to hang around him and be with him, and that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where we go. It doesn't matter if we're at the Woods Music and Dance Camp. Everyone wants to be where Grit is, or if we're at the CFMAs, people want to be with him and work with him. The same is true for some of his other professional organizations. It's been that way forever, and I do think it's that I think people can see in Grit that he's really genuine. He speaks from the heart. He's really sincere, and he's not afraid to put himself out there, and he's not afraid to sound what other people might call corny.